Awakening self-worth. Have you ever stopped and looked in the mirror, really looked and thought about the incredible, rare person staring back at you? Here's the truth. You've been giving your energy, your time, even your own peace of mind, pouring yourself into someone who may barely even notice your worth. But imagine just for a moment the power you'd gain if you turned that energy back toward yourself. It's a wake-up call, a reminder that your worth isn't tied to the validation of anyone else. Ralph Waldo Emerson captured it perfectly when he said, "The only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be." That destiny, it's in your hands right now. Think about it. Why let someone else hold the keys to your happiness, your worth, your joy? You're the one who gets to decide what you're worth. So here's the first step. Reclaim your power. You don't have to chase anyone's attention. When you respect yourself enough to let go, to put yourself first, something incredible happens. It's as if a weight lifts, and suddenly you see all the possibilities that exist when you're no longer waiting for someone to recognize your value. This is your moment to take that step back, not to play games or manipulate anyone, but to show yourself that you are worth the world. It's about drawing boundaries and focusing on what truly matters: your growth, your peace, your purpose. When you do this, you're not just stepping back, you're stepping up to a new level of strength and self-worth. Step back, stay silent, and watch them come running. Step 1. Step back and reclaim your energy. Imagine, just for a moment, if all the energy you've invested in someone else's happiness, their dreams and their approval, came flowing back to you. Think of all the hours, the thoughts, the emotions spent trying to bridge the gap with someone who may not even see your worth. That energy is powerful, it's vibrant, and it's meant for you, not to be wasted on someone who doesn't treasure it. There's a reason people say, you can't pour from an empty cup. So let's start filling up that cup, but this time keep it for you. This isn't selfish, it's essential. Take a step back, and in that pause, begin to reconnect with what your own soul needs. This quiet space isn't just silence, it's the sanctuary where you reclaim your energy. It's a space where you can hear your own heartbeat, remember the things that bring you joy, and reconnect with the parts of yourself you've put on hold. Maybe it's a dream you shelved, a goal you left behind, or a curiosity that's been calling you. When you step back, something powerful happens. There's a subtle shift, a reclaiming of control. Others might sense your absence and wonder, but here's the beauty of it. This is no longer about them. This is about you. It's about redirecting all the energy, all the intention, back to the life you're creating for yourself. This silence, it isn't empty, it's brimming with purpose. It's a quiet but unmistakable signal that you're no longer waiting or hoping for others to notice. You're taking charge, refocusing, and building. In stepping back, you become the force, not the follower. This is true strength, not in chasing, but in creating. True power isn't found in what you say or who you reach for, but in what you withhold and redirect back to your own path. When you stop giving your energy away, you find that what's left within you is more extraordinary than you ever realized. So, let's embrace this pause. Let's fill that cup. Explore the depths of what makes you, you, and let that reclaimed energy spark something new. In this act of stepping back, you're not withdrawing, you're rising. Step 2, stop waiting for recognition. All right, let's lay it out. One of the sneakiest pitfalls we stumble into is waiting. We wait for that magic moment when someone sees all our sacrifices, all our unnoticed efforts, and finally, they turn around with a look that says, "I get it now, I see you, I truly appreciate you." But here's the twist. Waiting is actually giving away your power. Every single minute spent hoping for their acknowledgement is a minute that slips away from you, and trust me, you're worth a whole lot more than that. Eleanor Roosevelt had a profound point when she said, No one can make you feel inferior without your consent. Think about that. This isn't about passively waiting for someone to decide you're valuable. It's about fully embracing the fact that you don't need their validation to know it. The power has always been in your hands, not theirs. The longer we wait, the more we allow ourselves to hand over our worth. So let's shake that off and make a move. Use this time to create something new, something powerful for yourself. Shift the energy away from waiting for a pat on the back, and instead, pour it into whatever sets your soul on fire. What's that passion you've been pushing to the back burner? Bring it to the forefront. Dive headfirst into goals that excite you, and chase down connections with people who lift you up. This transformation isn't about being noticed, it's about building a life that feels so right, so full, and so yours. Here's where it gets real. The moment you start creating that kind of life, surrounded by people who genuinely appreciate you, your entire foundation shifts. Imagine a life where their acknowledgement or even their silence doesn't define your worth. You're not just filling a void, you're creating a world where fulfillment radiates from within, unshakable by anything or anyone on the outside. And then comes the ultimate freedom. You stop needing them to notice at all. Because guess what? When you're deeply, authentically absorbed in creating a life that energizes and fulfills you, their opinions, whether loud or silent, cease to matter entirely. You're constructing a life with you at its heart, a life where fulfillment flows from the inside out, from you to the world. So this step is about more than just breaking free from waiting. It's about building a life that holds every piece of value you've ever wanted, and all because you put yourself at the center. Let go of that need for external recognition. Start making choices that resonate with who you are and what you stand for, and let the satisfaction of living for yourself be all the acknowledgement you'll ever need. Step 3, reinvest in yourself. Imagine for a moment all the effort, the care, and yes, even the heartache you've poured into others. Those long nights, the support given freely, the constant urge to lift others up even when you felt the weight of the world. Now picture turning that energy inward, refocusing all of that into you. Think about what it would look like to give yourself that level of dedication and love, to finally claim the attention, the patience, and the resources you've so often reserved for everyone else. This isn't selfish, it's essential. It's a profound recognition that your own growth, happiness, and dreams are worthy of the same, if not more, commitment. As Oprah Winfrey so wisely put it, the more you praise and celebrate your life, the more there is in life to celebrate. Isn't it time to live in a way that's worth celebrating? Picture this, not as a chore, but as an invitation to live life at its fullest, to engage in a kind of radical self-respect that elevates you above seeking validation from others. Start with one small act that has you written all over it. A book that's been gathering dust on your shelf? Open it. A hobby that once made you lose track of time? Return to it. A skill you've always wanted to try? Dive into it. Each choice to invest in yourself may feel tiny, but these steps are the foundation of something remarkable. A life built intentionally, vibrantly by you and for you. Here's where the real magic happens. As you begin pouring your energy into things that fulfill and challenge you, everything else shifts. Those relationships that once felt draining, they'll lose their pull. Those circumstances that seemed endlessly demanding, they'll fade in urgency. You'll notice that when you center your life on growth, fulfillment, and joy, the external things that once tethered you lose their hold. This journey is about embracing self-worth so profoundly that you're no longer at the mercy of others' expectations or judgments. Instead of wondering, do they notice me? Or, am I good enough for them? You'll find yourself asking, how can I expand? How can I thrive? How can I be the best version of myself today? It's a shift from doubt to empowerment, from external validation to deep internal purpose. Imagine what life would be like if you were no longer looking outside for approval, if every day was an opportunity to learn, grow, and become more fully yourself. The people you attract, the opportunities that come your way, will align with this renewed energy, this bold authenticity. It's a life where you are the focal point, and everything else just complements the journey you're on. Think about what it would be like to have a standard so high for yourself that you no longer need to chase anyone else's. This isn't arrogance, it's knowing that you, just as you are enough. This journey of self-investment is about setting a foundation so solid that life's turbulence doesn't throw you off balance. It's about creating a life that doesn't just impress on the surface but fulfills at the core. Step 4. The power of silence and mystery, a lesson in self-respect. In today's world, we often think that sharing everything, our thoughts, our dreams, our struggles, is what draws people in. But what if the real strength, the real allure, lies not in what we share, but in what we choose to keep to ourselves? Imagine this. When you become that open book, fully readable, there's nothing left to explore. Nothing left for others to discover. They feel they know you. They've seen it all. It's human nature. They may even begin to take you for granted. But what if there's a better way? What if silence and mystery are the allies we never knew we needed? There's wisdom in the words of Maya Angelou. Never make someone a priority when all you are to them is an option. These words might surprise you. They strike a deep chord. They remind us of the importance of placing value on our own peace and our own worth. It's in the mystery, the careful keeping of some parts of ourselves, that we regain control over our own story. When we stop broadcasting every inner thought, every feeling, every intention, we take back something invaluable: our sense of self, our dignity, our strength. Not everyone is entitled to know every chapter of your life story. Silence is often misunderstood. Many see it as weakness, a lack of something to say, or a shield against confrontation. But let's reframe that. Silence is not the absence of expression. It's a presence, a quiet, strong presence that says more than words ever could. It's an invitation for others to listen closely, to look deeper, to understand that what you're not saying matters as much as, if not more than, what you do say. It draws them in, sparking curiosity, and allows you to retain the power over who gets to see the layers beneath. This concept, this embrace of silence and mystery, can seem unconventional, maybe even radical. In a society that thrives on openness, where people share every aspect of their lives, choosing to stay private is a statement of self-worth. It's as if you're saying, I don't need to explain myself. I don't need to seek anyone's approval. In that quiet, you are untouchable. You're steady. You've moved beyond the need for validation, for permission. And in doing so, you create boundaries. Beautiful, powerful boundaries that show others your value and, more importantly, remind you of it. Think of this silence as a tool, an asset, an ally in your journey. It's a force field, a protective space that lets only those who truly appreciate you come close. Those who value you will feel it, sense the change, and begin to respect the boundaries you've set. In holding back, you give others the time and space to recognize your depth, to fill in the gaps with a greater appreciation of who you truly are. They start to wonder, to reflect, and realize they might not know you as well as they assumed. And that's where the magic begins. Mystery breeds respect. It calls for a deeper connection, not based on knowing every detail, but on valuing what is shared and what is not. When you make this choice to embrace silence, you're making a powerful statement to the world. It's as if you're saying, I'm not here to prove anything. I'm here to live fully, on my own terms. In that quiet, you create space to breathe, to process, and to rediscover your strength. The shift is palpable. people start to see the change. They might even question themselves, wonder about your thoughts, reflect on their actions. But by then, their reactions will no longer dictate your path. You'll be grounded, self-assured, anchored in your own value. There's no need to explain yourself, no need to share every detail out of obligation. Each moment you choose to hold something back is a step in reclaiming your inner peace, a testament to the strength you possess. The parts of your life you keep private, those are where your truest power resides. In this silence, this decision to embrace mystery, you're setting yourself free. So, take this to heart. Silence and mystery aren't forms of manipulation. They are tools of self-preservation, shields of self-respect. They are paths to freedom that allow you to maintain your energy, set boundaries, and cultivate a calm, confident aura that can't be easily shaken. You don't owe anyone an explanation, and when you choose to withhold, it's not out of secrecy or evasion. It's an act of courage, a declaration of independence that says, "I am enough as I am." In the silence, you find clarity. You find the space to understand your worth without external validation. And others? They'll sense the change. They'll feel the power. And you'll know you've reclaimed your peace in a way only you could. Step 5. Own your time and value it. Imagine this. Your time is like gold dust, finer and more precious than anything money could ever buy. Yet, how easily we let it slip through our fingers, scattering into endless obligations, leaving us drained and yearning for more. Have you ever thought about what it would mean to truly own every second of your time? Picture it. Every choice, every hour, every interaction charged with purpose, bringing a profound richness to each day. This isn't just a pipe dream. It's a standard you can set for yourself right now. Warren Buffett once observed, "The difference between successful people and really successful people is that really successful people say no to almost everything." Sit with that. It's a revelation, isn't it? In a world that demands constant yeses, choosing to say no can feel bold, maybe even radical. But here's the twist. It's not selfish. It's necessary. Saying no is a declaration of your own worth. When you say no to what doesn't serve you, you're freeing up space for what does. You're telling yourself, "I'm worth this time. I'm worth this energy." And the world responds to that. Picture every hour as a block in the foundation of a house you're building, your life. Are you building a masterpiece? Or are you stacking up blocks in a hurry, hoping they'll just hold? When you start saying no to what doesn't align, you're reinforcing that foundation. And here's the magic. You're building a life filled with meaning, layered with purpose, brimming with passion. Imagine living in a way where every commitment, every conversation, and every endeavor isn't a drain but an investment, a meaningful piece of a life well lived. What would that feel like? Can you see it? Feel it? A life where every moment you give is reciprocated with respect, and every no you speak becomes a boundary others learn to honor. This is what happens when you take ownership of your time. People begin to see that your time isn't just available, it's valuable. You're not just there for everyone because being accessible to everyone means being truly present for no one. Instead, you're there fully, where it matters most, and that makes your presence a gift. And here's the ultimate truth. When you treat your time as sacred, you stop giving it away to those who don't see its value. You'll notice a shift. The people around you will change. Those who drain you, who take without giving, will slowly fade away, replaced by people who see you for what you are, someone who brings value, someone who deserves respect. Because you're no longer there to fill a gap, you're there to make a meaningful impact. Living with intention is liberating. It's creating and respecting boundaries and making every hour you have count. You deserve that. Each of us does. In the end, valuing your time doesn't just benefit you, it transforms your entire circle. Those close to you will feel the respect you radiate, and they'll follow suit. They'll treat your time as they would their own, because to them, it becomes a treasure too. Let this be a reminder. Your time isn't just something you give away. It's something you build with, something you cherish, something you protect. You're not just setting a standard for how others treat you, you're setting the standard for how you treat yourself. When you truly own your time, you're doing more than just managing your hours. You're managing your life, and in the process, you're not just living, you're thriving. So, here's the challenge, the question to carry forward. How will you spend this day, this hour, this very minute? Will it be for something that brings you joy, that elevates you? Remember, each moment is a choice. Own it, live it, and let that choice ripple through your life. Because when you value your time, you're crafting a life filled with meaning. And in doing so, you invite others to recognize and respect that value too. Step 6. Raise your standards. Embrace your true worth. Look, if you're constantly accepting the bare minimum, here's what you're signing up for. Scraps, half-hearted gestures, and people who think your compromise is permission for their mediocrity. But let me drop a truth bomb for you. Your worth is non-negotiable, and your standards are the fortress protecting it. Take it from Michelle Obama's words. You should never view your challenges as a disadvantage. Instead, it's important for you to understand that your experience facing and overcoming adversity is actually one of your biggest advantages. This isn't about settling for what's easy or comfortable. It's about pushing yourself to become the best version of yourself, to raise the bar. Stop watering down your goals and ideals to meet someone else's comfort zone. Think about it. The people who genuinely value you, they're not just going to meet you halfway. They'll come all the way because they understand that high standards are the foundation of a strong connection built on mutual respect. And those who fall short, they may call you too much, too demanding, or say you've got unrealistic expectations. But that's not on you, that's their inability to rise. Imagine this, your standards are a lighthouse. Picture it, a strong, brilliant beacon that both attracts the right people and naturally repels those who are not meant for your life. Every single time you say no to something that doesn't honor your worth, you're clearing a path for something better. You're actively creating space for respect, quality, and fulfillment to make their way in. Raising your standards isn't just about the people you let in. It's about the life you're building, the energy you're putting out there, and how you choose to show up. Demand more from every corner of your life, whether it's your career, your environment, or yes, yourself. The second you set higher expectations for yourself, it's like you're sending out this magnetic energy that pulls in opportunities, situations, and people that match that vibration. And here's something powerful to remember. The way you set your standards shapes how others treat you. When you stop settling, you start signaling to the world that you deserve the best. That's not arrogance, that's honoring the value that only you bring to the table. So here's the challenge. Say yes only to the things that make you feel valued, respected, and deeply fulfilled. And don't be afraid to say no to anything less, without apology. Because when you raise the bar, when you truly stand by the standards that reflect your worth, the people and opportunities that align with you will rise to meet it. You're here to live a life full of purpose, to create meaningful connections, and to experience a sense of fulfillment that only comes when you stand firm in what you know you deserve. Step 7. Harness the power of silence. In a world bustling with noise, can you imagine the strength it takes to choose silence? In a society so desperate to be heard, silence can be the ultimate power move. It's not just the absence of words, but the presence of something far more profound: self-assurance. When you step into silence, you're stepping into your own space, an oasis of calm, a fortress of resilience, and a foundation of pure, unwavering confidence. Friedrich Nietzsche once said, "Silence is worse. All truths that are kept silent become poisonous." But here's the thing. Silence isn't always the venom. Sometimes it's the antidote. Silence can be a refuge, a way to protect your inner energy from those who may not appreciate its worth. Imagine having the power to simply observe, to step back, reflect, and then respond in a way that feels right to you. Isn't that a kind of freedom? Picture this. What if you didn't feel compelled to justify your choices, to explain your dreams, or to convince anyone of your value? Imagine the liberation of just being without the need for validation. Silence can be your boundary, an invisible yet unbreakable shield that says, I am whole. I am enough, just as I am. And that's powerful. People start to wonder. They begin to question what lies beyond your quiet demeanor. Suddenly, you become a mystery, someone with a strength they can't quite grasp or contain. Silence speaks volumes. It says, I don't need your approval. It's not about shutting people out. It's about inviting only those who value your peace and understand the weight of your silence. When you choose silence, you're building a circle around yourself, a boundary that's not about rejection, but about protection. You're making space to grow, to breathe, to be resilient in the face of life's storms. The beauty of silence is that it teaches us to become unmoved by chaos. You see, the world around us is often trying to pull us into its drama, its noise. But when you choose silence, you're saying, I am centered and I am rooted. True power doesn't lie in loud declarations. It lies in that quiet, steady presence that no one can shake. You don't need to prove your worth with words. Your silence says, I know who I am, and that's enough. Allow silence to be your guide. Let it be that sanctuary where you can heal, reflect, and nurture your true self. In that quiet, you're crafting a space that no one else can touch, a foundation of self-respect and peace. People will begin to notice this shift, this quiet strength. They'll see someone who doesn't bow to others' expectations, someone who is grounded in their own worth and lives life on their own terms. Remember, the power of silence is not in what it lacks, but in what it offers: clarity, resilience, and an undeniable sense of self. Embrace that quiet. Let it be the steady, calm rhythm that guides your journey. You're not here to explain, justify, or seek approval. You're here to live boldly, authentically, with a strength that flows from a place of profound inner peace. Let your silence be the anthem of your self-worth, the compass that leads you toward a life lived with intention, confidence, and unwavering grace. Embrace the quiet, because in that stillness, you'll find the kind of freedom words could never give you. Step 8. Glow up for yourself, not for them. Imagine for a moment a world where the only approval you need is your own, where every ounce of growth, every step toward change, is driven purely by your own sense of purpose and joy. What a liberating reality! When you choose to embark on your glow-up journey for yourself and not for anyone else, you're tapping into a wellspring of power, strength, and joy that is entirely yours. This isn't about crafting an image to please someone or to meet external expectations. This is about you, wholeheartedly. A true glow-up is a blossoming from within. It's the shift that happens when you recognize that becoming the best version of yourself is not about winning others over, but about honoring and loving who you are. As the brilliant Maya Angelou once said, nothing can dim the light which shines from within. This light, it's yours, and only you can keep it alive. Only you can let it shine without holding back. Now take a moment. How often have you, been influenced by the pressures around you? Think about it. We live in a world where validation is everywhere, but it's fleeting, isn't it? But here's the shift. It's time to reclaim that light inside, that part of you that has been dulled by expectations or the lingering shadow of self-doubt. This is the point where you say, I'm doing this for me. Not to impress, not to conform, but to rise. Think of your glow-up as a celebration, a joyful process of becoming someone you genuinely respect and love. It's a journey that can start with the smallest acts, simple but powerful. Taking care of yourself, nurturing habits that lift your mind, body, and spirit. Get up in the morning and give yourself something to look forward to. Activities that make you come alive, things that bring you peace, joy, and that unbreakable sense of self. It's about more than looks. It's the whole you that's transforming. It's about the life you're creating that feels aligned with who you truly are. When you decide to glow up solely for yourself, suddenly there's no race, no pressure to prove yourself to anyone. Every step is for your own growth and happiness. Imagine waking up each day with a profound sense of peace, knowing you're doing this for you, not to impress, not to meet anyone's expectations but your own. There's a beauty in that kind of freedom, in that kind of self-respect. When you honor this journey, you'll find that others naturally come to admire and respect you, that opportunities align, but let that be the bonus. The real joy lies in knowing that this journey is yours alone. Picture yourself stepping into each day, embracing the person you're becoming, someone resilient, someone who knows her worth. You don't owe the world explanations for this transformation. You don't have to justify your journey to anyone. Because ultimately, this glow-up is a declaration of self-love, a commitment to growth, and a reminder that your happiness matters, that your peace matters. You're creating a version of yourself that's filled with pride and authenticity. A life where you're no longer worried about fitting anyone else's mold. A life that allows you to shine in all the ways that are unique to you. And in that space, you become a magnet. Not because you're trying to be noticed, but because there's something undeniable about a person who radiates from within, who shines with the unmistakable glow of self-acceptance. This isn't about fitting a standard, nor is it about catching anyone's eye. This is your story. You're writing it, you're living it, and you're owning every moment of it. When you decide to glow up, remember, it's not for them, it's for you. You're moving forward unapologetically, embracing your light, and honoring every bit of growth along the way. Step 9, embrace your inner magnet. Have you ever noticed how the most magnetic people don't seem to be trying at all? They don't scramble for validation or cling to others' opinions to feel good about themselves. It's as if they know something we don't, moving through life with a quiet, effortless confidence that's both intriguing and refreshing. That's the magic of being the magnet, not the seeker. Dr. Wayne Dyer famously said, "You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are." Let that sink in. When you show up as your true self, fully aligned with your core values, you're no longer trying to please or impress. Instead, you're projecting a confident, authentic energy that invites the right people and opportunities into your life. Imagine the freedom in that. It's not about becoming someone else's ideal version of good enough. It's about embracing who you are at the core, without a need for constant approval. This authenticity, this groundedness, is precisely what draws others in. Picture your life filled with the things you genuinely love, activities that make you feel alive, people who respect you for exactly who you are, and pursuits that give you a sense of purpose. No more bending, shifting, or shrinking to fit someone else's idea of right. Instead, you're building a life that's not just yours, but one that reflects you completely. Imagine stepping into that, a life that's full of meaning, where you're not only unapologetically yourself, but magnetically yourself. Think about it. When you become the magnet, you stop running toward validation or connection. You don't have to chase admiration or struggle to fit in because you naturally draw people who resonate with your energy. Imagine the kind of relationships that form when you're no longer seeking, but simply being. They become partnerships of mutual respect, shared values, and genuine interest. When you stop running after connections, they start finding their way to you. You've essentially transformed your relationships from something to pursue into something that naturally flows into your life. So how do you become the magnet? Start by focusing on the things that bring you true happiness, not the things you think should bring you happiness. Maybe it's creating something, learning a new skill, or simply spending time in nature. Whatever it is, pursue it wholeheartedly. Give yourself permission to live in a way that feels genuinely fulfilling, not out of obligation or expectation, but out of joy. This isn't about trying to manipulate others' attention. It's about showing up fully in your own life. Imagine the joy of waking up every day knowing that you're living life in a way that truly aligns with who you are. When you embody this magnetic energy, something shifts inside you. Suddenly, you're not bound by the need to prove yourself or gain approval. You're grounded, fulfilled, and connected to your purpose. You're no longer waiting for someone else to validate your worth because you already know it. And people sense that. They're drawn to your confidence, your peace, your self-assuredness. It's like you're radiating an invisible light that naturally attracts those who appreciate the real you. The beauty of becoming the magnet is that it's not about standing still. It's about stepping into a new chapter of your life. A chapter where everything you've ever sought is now finding you. You're no longer a seeker, but a force. You're not chasing after something outside of yourself. You're creating a world that brings everything you need right to your doorstep. In this space, you're no longer just existing or reacting. You're actively shaping your life. You're building a life that reflects your values, and you're attracting people who align with that. Imagine the richness of a life like that, a life where everything and everyone that comes to you is meant to be there, drawn by the sheer power of who you are. So let yourself step into this magnetic energy. Stop chasing and start being. When you embody the qualities you most value, you'll find the right people and opportunities naturally align with your path. You're here not to follow or fit in, but to thrive. You're here to make an impact, to live fully, to be unapologetically yourself. And that, my friend, is a power that will transform everything around you. Embrace this transformation. You're no longer here to seek approval or chase connections. You're here to create a life so aligned with your true self that it pulls everything you need into your orbit effortlessly. You've become the magnet, the catalyst of your world. And there's nothing more powerful than showing up fully and authentically as you are. Welcome to a life where you attract what you are, a life that's wholly and beautifully yours. Step 10, master the art of saying no with confidence. Imagine this. Every single no you utter is a key to unlocking a life sculpted by purpose, a testament to self-respect, and a commitment to boundaries that don't simply protect but amplify your essence. Saying no in a world that constantly begs for yes isn't an act of rebellion, it's an act of self-love. The moment you choose to say no, you're choosing to honor your worth. And that's powerful. Let's think about what it means to say no with conviction. It's not just a way to dodge an unwanted task or wriggle out of a favor. Oh no, it's a whole philosophy. It's a profound declaration to yourself and to the world. I value my time, my energy, and my peace too much to let them be chipped away by things that don't serve me. In the words of Oprah Winfrey, you have to follow your intuition and know that it's okay to say no to people who don't respect your boundaries. It's permission to prioritize, to choose, to lift yourself above the noise of expectations that don't align with your values. When you say no to something that drains you, you're saying yes to something that fuels you, that expands your soul. This is the pivot, the beautiful, essential pivot, where you shift from pleasing everyone to fulfilling yourself. You're choosing to keep your energy sacred. You're not just setting boundaries. You're building a fortress around what makes you, you. Every time you say yes to something misaligned, you chip away at the time, energy, and focus you could be investing in what genuinely elevates you. But when you say no, you're making space for the people, opportunities, and passions that deserve your best self. The irony: in saying no to others, you're really saying yes to yourself. You're preserving the essential you that deserves nurturing, attention, and respect. But let's face it, choosing no can feel uncomfortable at first. We're wired to accommodate, to meet the needs of others, to say yes, even when it means sacrificing our own well-being. It's a challenge to break free from this automatic compliance. But with each no, you're chiseling away at that discomfort, turning it into a strength, an affirmation, a declaration that your boundaries matter. And each time you honor those boundaries, you're not just honoring yourself, you're creating a new standard for how you expect to be treated. So here's the challenge: let no become a mantra for intention. Imagine it as a soft, yet resolute shield that protects what's valuable in your life. It's not about denying others, it's about ensuring your priorities aren't lost in the clamor of demands. In saying no, you're saying yes to a life that's balanced, intentional, and rich with the things that make you feel alive. Every no is a brick in the path to a life of purpose. Each one builds the foundation for a life that resonates with your values and passions. This is the kind of intentional living that attracts people, projects, and experiences aligned with who you truly are. And here's the truth: the more comfortable you become with saying no, the more you'll notice that what you say yes to will be exactly what you need. It's not about rejecting people, it's about choosing to live in alignment with your truth. Say no confidently, without apology, and watch how the quality of your life transforms. It's a radical act of self-love, a celebration of self-worth, and an open door to fulfillment. And in that no, you're welcoming a future that honors, respects, and reflects the true you, filled with purpose, peace, and power. Step 11. Cultivate emotional independence and become unshakable. Imagine waking up each day with a profound sense of peace, a calm so unshakable that no one's opinion or judgment can disturb it. Picture moving through life with a steady heart, untethered from the need for external approval, driven by your own sense of worth. This is the core of emotional independence, a quiet strength, a kind of inner freedom that nobody else controls. Imagine what that would feel like. As Viktor Frankl so powerfully reminded us, between stimulus and response there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. Think about that. Freedom lies in our ability to choose how we respond, no matter the circumstances. Emotional independence doesn't mean shutting down or suppressing feelings. It's about becoming steady in the face of life's noise. This strength allows you to feel deeply without being swept away. You can experience pain, joy, frustration, and excitement, and yet remain centered. Imagine having that strength where no drama, judgment, or expectation can sway your peace. That's power. That's freedom. How do we build this kind of strength? It starts by realizing that your worth is yours alone. You aren't here to fulfill someone else's narrative or live by their terms. You're here to be true to you, detach from others' expectations, and you reclaim your peace and happiness from a place only you control. In the end, you're enough, and no validation from others can add or take away from that truth. When you let go of seeking validation, you're no longer at the mercy of others' opinions. You're free to connect genuinely with relationships based on mutual respect and understanding, not on the need for approval. The connections become real, honest, supportive. Your emotional strength opens the door to true connection, rather than a dependence on reassurance. Imagine the life that's waiting for you when you're no longer bound by external opinions. You no longer give away your power to people who may not have your best interests at heart. You're free to stand tall, knowing your well-being is yours to protect. Others might try to provoke or manipulate you, but instead of reacting, you respond with calm wisdom and confidence. You're no longer swayed by their judgments. Instead, you're deeply rooted in your own truth. Embrace the strength of emotional independence. Let it be the foundation of your resilience, the reason you stand strong. Imagine each day, each challenge, as an opportunity to choose your response, to ground yourself in your own strength. This is the power of emotional independence. It's the freedom to be resilient, unshaken, unstoppable. And that's a kind of strength nobody can take away from you. Step 12. Become the magnet, not the seeker. Isn't it amazing to think that we could just be, to live as our authentic selves and see the right people, the right opportunities flow to us effortlessly? There's a powerful shift when you let go of seeking and start embodying who you genuinely are. It's a transition from constantly looking for approval or connection to simply allowing life to come to you on its own terms, magnetically. Think about what Dr. Wayne Dyer once said, "You attract what you are, not what you want." That statement holds a surprising truth. Instead of focusing on others or external achievements, imagine channeling that energy inward, asking, "Who do I want to become?" What if instead of chasing, you poured yourself into the passions that truly make you come alive? What if instead of hoping for acceptance, you became someone whose values and presence drew in the right people? This isn't about impressing others or playing any role. It's a journey into becoming so grounded in who you are, so authentically you, that your very essence attracts people, experiences, and opportunities that resonate with your soul. Picture living a life where every connection feels genuine, where the people who walk into your life truly see and value you for who you are. It's liberating to think that by aligning with your own truth, you don't need to fit in or work to gain approval. Suddenly, life starts feeling more like a dance than a competition. Those who value you will be drawn to you naturally, and the fear of losing fades away. Because when you embody your purpose and your passion, when you live for what fills you up, you attract people and opportunities that are in tune with that energy. Start living for you. Pour your time into things that make you feel alive, that lift you up, that reflect the purpose you carry. When you do this, you'll find that you're not just attracting people, you're attracting the right people, those who are inspired by your energy and align with your values. The love, joy, and excitement you're filling your own life with become a light, guiding the right connections and experiences to your doorstep. Imagine becoming someone who doesn't need to chase or impress. That's the beauty of being the magnet. Life doesn't have to feel like a race. Instead, it becomes a journey where the things meant for you naturally fall into place, without forcing anything, without stressing over whether you're good enough. When you stop searching outside of yourself for validation, you find that what's truly meant for you was just waiting for you to be ready. So start filling your days with the things you truly love. Step into that place of quiet confidence and ease. And as you do, trust that everything you're meant to have, everyone who's meant to be in your life, will come, drawn to the person you've become. There's an indescribable power in embracing who you are, in letting go of seeking and finding strength in just being. When you walk through life as this magnet, you're no longer just living for the moment. You're creating a life filled with meaning and connection, where what's meant for you will never miss you. Step 13. Embrace patience, the hidden power of trusting your journey. In a world that's obsessed with the quick, the immediate, the now, the idea of waiting feels almost radical. But here's the twist. Everything worthwhile, the dreams and ambitions that truly matter, they don't happen in an instant. And that's the beauty of it. True growth, real success, takes time and patience. In fact, Lao Tzu understood this ages ago when he said, "Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished." Think about that. Look around, and you'll see nature's quiet miracles all around us. There's no rush, and yet the results are awe-inspiring. Imagine your life as a garden, where each day you plant seeds of your aspirations, your passions, your dreams. You might not see the flowers yet, but beneath the surface, the roots are taking hold, gathering strength, setting a foundation. So why should you rush? Just because something isn't visible today doesn't mean it's not happening. It's all about what you can't see, the silent, steady work happening just under the surface. Trusting the journey means letting go of the urge for instant wins, choosing instead to embrace every moment as it arrives. Think about where you were 6 months or a year ago and celebrate that progress. Each challenge, each hard-earned lesson, they're all part of the transformation. Step by step, you're shaping into the person you're destined to be. And here's the revelation. The journey itself is just as important as where you're headed. Patience is powerful. It's not about doing nothing or waiting around. It's about allowing things to unfold when they're meant to. Frustration creeps in when results aren't immediate, but growth often happens quietly, in those moments when it seems like nothing's changing. Yet day by day, you're adding strength, resilience, and insight. It's the invisible work that matters. So here's a thought. Release the rush. Trust that each step, each effort you make today, is guiding you toward something incredible. When you stop trying to force progress and start moving with the process, you'll notice things falling into place naturally. And in embracing patience, you're actually granting yourself the freedom to experience this journey fully, with all its highs, lows, and everything in between. Every bit of effort is building a foundation of strength, self-worth, and a sense of purpose. The lessons you're gathering now, they're shaping your future, and they'll carry you forward, one step at a time. Let yourself embrace this moment, even if it feels like progress is crawling. Know that each step is drawing you closer to the vision you hold for yourself, even if you can't quite see it yet. Remember, this journey isn't a race. It's a discovery of what you're capable of becoming. Embrace it, trust it, and marvel at the heights patience will help you reach. Step 14. Define success on your own terms. Imagine stepping into a world where success is no longer measured by anyone else's standards. Picture a life where achievement isn't dictated by wealth, titles, or social approval, but by the real, tangible joy, fulfillment, and meaning you find in every moment. This is what it means to define success on your own terms. To step away from society's blueprint and craft a life that reflects the deepest parts of who you are. Ralph Waldo Emerson once captured this truth, saying, "To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment." Imagine what that means for you. Breaking free from society's constant push to be something you're not, and instead building a life that's genuinely yours. True success isn't one size fits all. It's a personal quest that resonates with your unique values, dreams, and the purpose you hold close. Now take a deep breath and ask yourself, what does success really mean to me? Is it the strength of your relationships, the authenticity of your career, or the peace and purpose at the heart of your everyday life? Whatever your answer, let it be free from comparison. Let it be a vision that reflects you. When you stop chasing society's version of success, you open up space to pursue what genuinely matters to you. You start to feel an extraordinary freedom as you measure your progress by your own compass rather than someone else's. It's no longer about keeping up or getting ahead in someone else's race, but about finding what brings you real joy, the kind that aligns with your spirit. And make no mistake, this isn't about settling. It's about intentionally choosing a life that uplifts you, a life that's rich with purpose, authenticity, and true satisfaction. In a world where the pressure to keep up or get ahead can be overwhelming, defining success for yourself takes courage. It means standing by what feels authentic to you, even when it doesn't fit others' expectations. Yes, it takes strength. But imagine the freedom that comes with this choice. The quiet satisfaction of knowing that your journey is truly yours. No longer are you bound by the need to impress, to conform, or to prove anything to anyone else. Instead, you're free to follow a path that fills you with pride and genuine happiness, a version of success that can't be shaken, one that grows from the core of who you are. So, imagine a life where every decision aligns with what you truly want. Imagine walking a path that feels both natural and exciting, where each step you take isn't about meeting someone else's standards, but about fulfilling your own. This is a success that can't be bought, borrowed, or measured by anyone else's scale. It's a success that lasts, rooted in your own values and vision. Remember, your success should be as unique as you are. Let it be a journey that inspires and guides you, bringing peace and fulfillment as you move forward. Embrace the idea that your journey is yours, and that the greatest accomplishment you can achieve is staying true to yourself, step by step, day by day. Step 15, celebrate every victory, big or small. Life is a journey, and every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory worth celebrating. But in the rush to achieve, how often do we overlook these moments of progress, the very moments that define our journey? Success isn't only in reaching the final destination, it's in embracing each step along the way, letting every victory remind us of our strength, resilience, and relentless spirit. Helen Keller once said, "Life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all." Imagine what she meant, not just in grand accomplishments, but in every single step of the adventure. Each tiny win, every moment of growth, is a part of that journey. Whether it's learning a new skill, hitting a personal milestone, or even just showing up on the hard days, these victories are building blocks of a resilient mindset. They're the quiet reminders that we are stronger than we think, capable of more than we realize, and on a path worth celebrating. Take a second to pause, look at where you are, and honor the work it took to get here. Celebrating isn't about showing off. It's about recognizing the courage and commitment it took to overcome each challenge, the persistence it required to keep moving forward. Even the smallest victories matter. These moments reinforce our sense of purpose, reminding us that each step, each effort, each struggle, each triumph is shaping who we are becoming. Think of each win as a stone you lay on the path you're building, a foundation for the bigger victories ahead. By celebrating, you acknowledge not just the result, but the perseverance and growth that brought you there. You're telling yourself that every effort counts, that you're worthy of recognition, and that you're on the right track. So don't wait for the big moments to feel proud. Take time to appreciate your progress, savor the small achievements, and find joy in the steps you're taking today. Treat yourself to that moment of gratitude, reflection, or even a small reward. Celebrating these victories fuels a cycle of motivation, grounding you in gratitude and giving you the momentum to keep going. Life isn't just a series of achievements. It's a collection of moments that make the journey worthwhile. When you honor each small win, you're building a mindset of joy, resilience, and purpose that will carry you through any challenge. Success isn't just about the finish line. It's woven into the countless small victories that pave the way. Embrace every moment of progress, every tiny victory, as a testament to the journey you're on. You've come so far already, and there's an exciting path still ahead. Let each step remind you of your strength, your commitment, and the incredible story you're writing, one victory at a time. In those powerful moments of stepping back, staying silent, and letting things unfold, you'll find strength in simply letting your energy speak. Sometimes, it's about holding space, about not chasing, not pushing, and allowing others to feel your value in your quiet confidence. When you create that mystery and embrace your inner power, You inspire respect and naturally draw people toward you. Step back, stay silent, and watch them come running. Isn't just a phrase. It's a way to lead by example, showing that confidence doesn't require constant effort or over-explanation. If you're looking for how to make women chase you, remember, it's not about manipulation, but rather about cultivating your true self. Authenticity, self-assurance, and knowing your worth will always speak louder than words. Thank you for watching. Show your support by hitting the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to the Stoic Goddess for more empowering insights. Share your thoughts in the comments and ring the notification bell to stay updated with more incredible content. We appreciate you being here, and we'll see you next time.